Welcome back, focused learners. Today's explainer is all about working smarter, not harder. We're looking at the ultimate smart work roadmap for students aiming to claim that top-tier grade 9 in their IGCSE ICT exams. Look, whether you're tackling the massive written theory paper or facing down that intense 3-hour practical, simply knowing the material, well, it just isn't enough. You have to know exactly how the exam itself works.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our 6-step agenda, proving that we've managed to take all that massive syllabus chaos and organize it into a highly digestible format. We're going to cover the grade 9 mindset, cracking those tricky command words, mastering the IT jargon, using analogies for hardware, and finally, acing your practicals in Excel and Word.
First up, Section 1, the grade 9 mindset. This is all about how you prioritize, practice, and manage your time.
To pull off a grade 9, you have to prioritize like a pro. You need to categorize your syllabus topics by how frequently they appear and their actual point value. Why? Well, think about this. The written paper 1 averages 24+ pages. You only have an hour and 30 minutes, meaning the time will completely literally fly by, leaving you with practically zero time to recheck your work. So, waffling or writing out these long, drawn-out lists when they aren't asked for, that is your absolute biggest enemy here. Answer straight to the point.
So, the crucial point is the ultimate golden rule. Practice past papers, practice past papers, practice past papers. Yeah, it's repeated 3 times for a very good reason. Time yourself strictly because it really doesn't matter how hard you study if you just run out of time on exam day. And here's a quick pro tip. Don't just complete the papers. You need to obsess over the official mark schemes. They show you exactly how points are divided and, brilliantly, the exact types of answers that examiners actively reject.
Moving on to Section 2, cracking the command words. Essentially, letting the marks guide your time. The mechanics of the written paper are pretty straightforward once you get it. The command word and the mark allocation dictate exactly what your strategy should be. A true grade 9 student always reads the command word first. If you see state, identify, or define for just 1 or 2 marks, well, give a short answer. Hit the direct points and move on. Don't spend 5 minutes here. Actually, scratch that. Don't even spend 2 minutes on it. Now, explain or describe requires a 4 to 6 mark detailed application of your knowledge. But if you see evaluate, analyze, or justify, okay, those are your big essay-type questions worth 8 to 12 marks, and they need a holistic view covering pros, cons, and wider impacts.
Step 3. Speaking the IT jargon. Using the right terminology saves time and secures marks.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how visually obvious the shortcut is. Examiners heavily reward precision. Using the correct IT jargon drastically reduces the physical effort and time it takes to write your answer. Look at these 2 options for a 1-mark question about improving app security. That exhausting 4-minute paragraph on the first item gets 1 mark. But the snappy 30-second jargon on the second item, just writing implement 2-factor authentication, gets the exact same mark. When examiners see the proper terminology, they instantly know you get it.
Section 4, simplifying complex hardware concepts. Let's master the syllabus with some analogies. Let's be honest, hardware and network theory can be a bit dry, right? So top-tier students use simple analogies to instantly recall complex definitions when they're under pressure. Take technological convergence, for example. It sounds intimidating, but it perfectly explains why we don't lug around a separate camera, a standalone GPS, and a distinct gaming console anymore. They've all converged or combined into one pocket-sized, multifunctional device, your smartphone.
And when you're trying to remember the difference between memory and storage, just stick to that smartphone analogy. Memory, or RAM, is volatile. It's exactly like the apps you currently have running actively in the background. Once you swipe them away or power down, poof, it clears. Secondary storage, on the other hand, is your non-volatile, permanent space. It's where your photos, videos, and music actually live permanently.
Oh, and here's another incredibly fast, high-yield concept to memorize for paper 1. Virtual memory. When your primary memory gets completely full, the system temporarily borrows space on your secondary storage to act as memory for programs until they're actively needed. Boom, easy marks if you can just define it clearly like that.
And this brilliantly illustrates how to think about output devices. Don't try to memorize dense technical manuals. Just picture a data projector as a flashlight shining through a shaped hole, using a lens to project and magnify an inverted image onto your wall. Analogies like this stick in your brain so much better than textbook definitions ever do.
All right, let's shift gears. Section 5. Acing practical tasks, specifically Excel. It's all about speed and accuracy.
The Paper 2 Practical is a highly time-critical 3-hour pressure cooker where speed and accuracy separate the good grades from the absolute best. You are basically guaranteed to see a VLOOKUP function, and we all know the sheer panic of a broken spreadsheet formula. So here are the rapid-fire tactical steps for flawless execution. Select your lookup value, highlight the correct table array, and this is absolutely crucial. Lock those stable cells using absolute referencing with the $sign. If you forget to lock them, copying that formula down is going to trigger a waterfall of terrifying error codes. And finally, always choose false to demand an exact match.
But listen, all those perfect formulas mean absolutely nothing if the examiner can't actually see them. You have to print out your spreadsheet, and switching to formula view before you hit print is an absolute non-negotiable step. If you just print the final numbers, the examiner cannot verify your methods and you lose the points. You have to visually prove your work.
Finally, Section 6. Acing practical tasks in Word and PowerPoint.
Let's move to and see how this builds for your final software requirements. You'll often be asked to integrate charts or images into a single document or presentation. The very first rule: immediately insert your candidate details into the headers or footers. I cannot stress this enough: if it prints without your name, it's not your work, and your grade is instantly gone. When adding images, wrap the text tight so it cleanly integrates. Always check the layout commands. Do they want landscape or portrait? Over in PowerPoint, use the Slide Master view to set up global formatting instantly. And above all, make sure those final printouts are perfectly legible.
So there you have it. We've covered the smart work roadmap. You know how to hack the command words. You know to leverage that time-saving IT jargon. You've got the visual analogies for your hardware and the exact tactical steps to conquer the software practicals. The only thing left is to put all of this under the pressure of the clock. So what does this all mean? It means you have the tactics, the terminology, and the tools. The question is, are you ready to claim your grade 9? Dive into those past papers right now. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.